everyone. It's Friday afternoon. I'm at my teaching studio in northern Kentucky, and I usually make videos on Saturdays. I probably will make a video tomorrow. We'll get just a little bit closer. I'm actually using some new technology. I am using my this app that I just downloaded, Black Magic, which is the editing software I use. They make an app for my camera, and so I'm giving it a test. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about left hand pain. If you're experiencing left hand pain whenever you're playing guitar, I've seen on my Facebook and social media feeds, I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for hand wraps and gloves and things that people talk about to help with left hand pain, and they and I've seen a lot of comments, and I've been teaching lessons a long time. I've been playing guitar since I was about 7. I started teaching lessons in the 90s, so I've taught lessons 25 years. I've been to a number of seminars for improving positioning and playing pain-free, both for classical guitar and for regular guitar. And one of the things that really struck me was a lot of the people that were posting the videos, they were commenting, they weren't posting videos. A lot of the people that were commenting on social media about pain, they were often saying they were experiencing a lot of pain in their left hand thumb joint. And some people associated that maybe with age or arthritis. That I can see that. I've done a lot of physical labor in my life, and I sometimes have a little bit of back pain whenever I'm standing and playing gigs for a long time. But luckily, if I do some stretches and do my stretches like I should, I do a good job of staving that off. So, but what I want to talk about is left hand pain and what causes that, the primary cause of that. And so in my teaching, one of the things that I've seen is a lot of people that play that they put a lot of pressure on their hand, and especially sometimes I see people and they're holding the guitar maybe like this, and they're squeezing with their hand, a lot like if you were squeezing a tennis ball. And so I had some problems with tendonitis in my elbow, and one of the realizations I had was I needed to figure out a better way to put the energy into the strings that didn't require squeezing the neck of the guitar so much, because that's what was really irritating my elbow. Well, I was surprised that whenever I started to improve those elements of my technique, that the pain that I was experiencing in my thumb joint, that also went away too. And the reason why is that what I was starting to do is I was starting to shift away that work. I was shifting the work away from my small muscles in my thumb and more into my larger skeletal muscles. And then later, I was teaching my daughter. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and I was teaching her how to throw a ball. And it struck me, I was like, this is a lot like learning how to play guitar, because she was probably like 8 or 9 at the time, and she would hold the ball and she would just throw it primarily just with her elbow and her wrist. And as we worked on it, she started to incorporate a little more, maybe her shoulder, but she still was using her small limbs, and she was working hard. And I've known over the years of playing sports, I've heard people say, it really hurts my shoulder or my wrist when I'm throwing the ball. And it was through my guitar training I recognized, like, if you're throwing the ball properly, if you're turning and pivoting your hips, coming around, that you're incorporating more overall muscles in your body and not just isolating in your wrist. Well, this same thing is true for guitar, that when I'm playing guitar, you'll notice I like the guitar in the center of my body. It doesn't have to be here, but I bring my arm over the guitar. My arm comes over the edge of the guitar, and this really helps to make the guitar secure. So whenever I am playing, that I'm controlling the guitar. I don't want it to be wobbly or or moving around a lot, I want it to be pretty static and have pretty good control over it. And so then with my left hand, I am putting the pressure into the guitar primarily by pulling with my elbow and my shoulder. And I actually feel some tension across my back between my arms because I'm holding the guitar steady with my right arm. I'm pulling back with my left arm. And so whenever I was having the problems with tendonitis, that one of the first things that I did that really started to improve my left hand and left hand elbow and thumb pain was that I started to do these exercises. And I just made these exercises up, but what I started to do was I started to think about what was going on physically and what I really wanted. And what I wanted was I wanted my brain, whenever I'm playing like a bar chord that involves 6 strings, I wanted my brain to think, to turn on my muscles, to pull back with my shoulder and my elbow. And you can see, like I'm gonna turn a little bit, and I noticed that I would bring my arm up, and as I start to play, I can see the muscles around my shoulder, or around my elbow, and my bicep flex a little bit. And you can see I'm doing a bar chord at the 5th fret. This is an A chord. I'm doing this without putting my thumb on the neck. Now, it's not super clean. I definitely need some thumb pressure. The thumb pressure really gives me the finesse, the really fine motor skills to really control that. But just the basic pressure, though, the brute force that goes into playing big bar chords and things like that, those things, I want to get those, and I want to use primarily I think of it like the weight of my arm. So I imagine if I had, this is going to be funny, but I imagine if I had a leather strap around my arm and it had like a weight, like a kettlebell on it, and it was hanging off and I could feel that weight pulling down. Whenever I put my hand up here on the strings, that weight, I could transfer that into pushing the strings down. And so that first exercise I did, whenever I was trying to really overcome this pain in my left hand and my left elbow, is that I would do this exercise, and I'm gonna show you. I would go, and you could do this anywhere, but I'm gonna start at the 5th fret because I'm in the middle. The 5th fret is right in the middle of the neck. So I'm gonna back up a little bit so you can see my whole guitar, and I'm gonna take my index finger, and I'm gonna put my index finger on the string 6, fret 5. And I don't know if you can see this, but my thumb is not touching. I'm not touching the neck of the guitar with my thumb. And the reason why is what I'm trying to train is I'm trying to train my brain that whenever the pressure to push down the strings, whenever I need to put that pressure onto the strings, step 1 is going to be pulling back with my large muscles. So I'm going to pull back with both my arms. One arm's controlling the guitar, the other arm's pulling back like this. And I'm not going to squeeze, because most people that I see in my lesson studio, the pain they describe is usually in their thumb joint. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to move this workload away from your thumb joint. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to take my index finger. My thumb is not touching the neck. Can you see my thumb? Not touching the neck. And I'm going to go string 6, fret 5. Then I'm going to go string 5, fret 5. I'm going to roll, and then I'm going to go string 4, fret 5. So can you see my thumb is off of the neck? So I'm going string 6, string. Now I'm going to do the same exact exercise, and I'm going to do it with my middle finger. So I'm going to go string 6, fret 6, string 5, fret 6, string 4, fret 6. Again, my thumb is not touching the neck. I'm just trying to build these neural pathways of getting pressure to push down the strings without incorporating my thumb at this time. Now I'm going to go to my ring finger. It's going to be fret 7. So I'm going to go string 6, string 5, string 4. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little finger, and I'm going to go fret 8, string 6, string 5, string 4. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to start it over. I'm going to do the whole thing again. I'm going to go fret 5, 6, fret 6, middle finger, fret 7, fret 8. Now I'm going to go to string groups 5, 4, and 3. So I'm going to start on fret 5, string 5. So I'll go string 5, string 4, string 3. Now I'm going to go to fret 6 with my middle finger. My thumb is not touching the neck of the guitar. Can you see this? 6. Third finger. Fourth finger on fret 8. Now I'm going to go to string 4, and I'm on fret 5, and I'm going to go string groups 4, 3, and 2. So I'm going to go index finger 4, 3, 2. My thumb is free. Middle finger 4, 3, 2. String 7, fret 7, 4, 3, 2. Fret 8, 4, 3, 2. Now I have the last 3 string groups. So I'm going to do strings 3, 2, and 1. So I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. Fret 6 with my middle finger. Fret 7. Fret 8. And now I'm going to do the whole exercise just like if I was practicing myself. So I'm going to turn my fingers. I'm going to start like this. I'm going to start on fret 5. And I usually do it in time. So I'll go like... Then one of the other things I'll do is I'll just try and play a few bar chords. Now remember, I can't stress this enough, that we're not going to play gigs or songs or any kind of performance without having our thumb on the back of the neck. Our thumb gives us a lot of stability, it gives us finesse, a lot of control over our playing, and does affect the sound. But what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to give our thumb a break. You want to be able to get a little bit of rest for your thumb joint. You don't want to constantly be putting all that pressure on there. One of the things I also forgot to mention is that if you are closer to the fret, it takes a lot less effort. You don't have to push as hard. So if you've ever looked at how the sound is created on the guitar, that what I'm actually doing is I'm pressing the string down against the fret. So if I'm playing fret number 5, I actually press the string right before fret number 5 down against it, and that shortens the string. So the closer you are to the fret, the less effort it takes to push the string down against the fret. Now, full disclosure, one of the things that I did whenever I started having a lot of problems with my left hand elbow was where I experienced left elbow was where I was having the most pain, but I was having some pain in my thumb joint too. That on my guitars that I played regularly, I switched to taller frets. I didn't do this right away. I was playing the guitars, and as the frets got worn, when it came time to replace the guitars, I had a taller fret installed because it's easier if you're trying to press the string down against the fret, and that's where you want to stop pushing, that if the fret's a little taller, it doesn't take as much effort. Whenever you play a guitar that has worn frets or really low frets, that in order to get the string securely against the fret, you often end up pushing really hard against the fingerboard, that you're pressing the string down against the fingerboard, trying to get that string securely against the fret. So as I was wearing out the frets on my guitars, I was having them refretted with taller frets, and that was making a big difference in my left hand, both feeling more relaxed and getting rid of pain in my thumb joint and in my elbow. So the fourth thing, I don't know how many things I've named now, but the other thing that I should also name is that I have found that if I hold my guitar in the center of my body, I'm sitting down right now, but my guitar is very much in the center of my body, and this did two things that also really helped to relieve pain in my left hand. First off, my left hand elbow is not trapped against my body, so I have room that I can swing my elbow in, and this allows me to get my fingertips aligned along the length of the string, and you can see that my knuckles are also kind of aligned along the length of the string. Having this space for my arm is a really big deal. The other thing is that I move the neck of the guitar up a little bit. That way I don't have to twist my wrist as much. This helped a lot also with pain in my elbow. And one of the things that I always point out in lessons is a lot of really famous guitar players. It doesn't matter if it's Steve Vai or Jimi Hendrix. I remember I had a poster of Jimi Hendrix on the wall whenever I was a kid. I've seen posters of Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimmy Page. A lot of times whenever people are playing solos, you'll notice they have their guitar up, they're leaning back, their hair's blowing. I don't have any hair anymore, but if I had hair, I'd get a fan so I could have my hair blowing because it looks so cool in the videos. But one of the things that I realized is that these artists that I really respect, that part of the reason whenever I see them leaning back like this is that they're elevating the headstock of their guitar. They're getting the neck pointed up because it's so much easier to play. It gets the pressure off your wrist. And whenever, even though these guys are very accomplished, famous guitar players, whenever they're playing these really fast solos, they need all the help they can get to make it as accessible as possible. And so one of the things that they're doing is they're tilting the neck up so they don't have this pressure on their wrist, makes it much easier for them to play fast. And so I realized that for myself, that elevating the headstock of the guitar really helped. That on a lot of my guitars, I move the strap button. And so in moving the strap button, I automatically, the headstock of the guitar is pointed up. Instead of, whenever the strap button's up here, I noticed that if I raised the strap trying to make it a little more comfortable, and what ended up happening was it made the guitar a lot higher, but it still was level like this. And so what I was trying to accomplish was to get the headstock of the guitar pointed more upright. So I really hope that these tips help a lot with making your guitar playing more comfortable and alleviating pain. That I have not tried wrist braces or gloves for my left hand. That whenever I first started to have these problems, none of that stuff was available on the market. But I was experiencing significant pain. I was going, I went to see a really great doctor here in town. I live in Cincinnati, and I know that he works with the Cincinnati Reds, that's our baseball team, with the pitchers. So he had some really good advice about my elbow problems, but I had a series of, I had cortisone shots, and I did physical therapy, and my problems as fast as the cortisone shot would wear off, my problem would come right back. And these things these things being number one, holding the guitar better. Well, no, number one was stop squeezing with my thumb and shift some of the workload out into my shoulder and my elbow so I wasn't squeezing with my thumb. Number two was hold the guitar better. so the headstock was up, so I didn't have to twist my wrist as much. And then number 3, I shifted to bigger frets as I wore my frets out. Full disclosure, I usually play pretty heavy strings on my electric guitars that you see me playing here on my YouTube channel. They all are strung with 11 through 49s. I use D'Addario 11 through 49s. On my jazz guitars, which you never see me play yet, at least on my YouTube channel, I usually use Thomas D. Keenfields, and my first string is usually a 14. And that a jazz guitar is a little different. Usually the action's a little lower, the strings are real thick, but the action's real low, and the string doesn't move very much. So I do have one guitar. I don't think I've played it yet on my YouTube channel that I use thinner strings on. It's a heavy metal style guitar. It's a Charvel. And I have a lot of people that take lessons that are interested in modern heavy metal, sweep picking, things like that. And so whenever I'm playing those styles, I'll bring in the Charvel. So, all right. Thanks for joining me on Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I usually do videos on Saturday. I'm not sure what my day's looking like, but I'm gonna try and get something out tomorrow. Also, take care, and take care of your guitar playing hands, elbows, wrists, and fingers.